My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. We are a day late. This card had all sorts of issues. Donald Cerrone lost an opponent. We lost the main event. This card's all over the place, but they pieced it back together. So we are 1 day behind on everything because we have to wait for DraftKings and Monkey Knife Fight. But luckily, we've got this unlocked and we are ready to break down UFC Vegas 26 for you. And first up, we have Mike Trizano versus Ludovit Klein in a pretty interesting fight. So Mike Trizano won the Ultimate Fighter. I imagine nobody watched that season, but he did win the Ultimate Fighter. And Ludovit Klein is a phenomenal striker and happens to be the most expensive person in DraftKings. Dan, what are your thoughts on this fight? You were on the Ultimate Fighter. You didn't win, but you were on the Ultimate Fighter.
I was just going to say, all these guys in the Ultimate Fighter, they're just not that good, and they never amount to much. Stole my thunder there. No, yeah. Yeah, I was in the Ultimate Fighter. That was a long time ago. But, yeah, no, it was fun. It was it was a weird experience, right? You're locked in a house for 2 months, but we made the best of it. Made some friends, got some great training. Trained with Rampage Jackson, so that kind of started my career off. Anyways, Mike Trizano, 8-1, a plus 205 underdog. So this is going to be an interesting fight. You know, as Angelo said, he was 3-0 in the Ultimate Fighter. He won the season. He's been 1-1. He's 1-1 in the UFC since then, but he hasn't fought in 2 years. Multiple knee surgeries, which is always a little scary. In his last fight, he lost to Grant Dawson via rear naked choke, which is, not a bad loss in a resume. Grant Dawson's pretty tough. And he beat Luis Pena before that, a split decision, which is a pretty legit win. So he's definitely had 2 tough fights in his first and second UFC fights. He's a Tiger Schulman's guy. It looks like he did some training at Factory X, but he's definitely a good striker. He's got kind of that karate style, Tiger Schulman's background, very good jab. He definitely obviously had trouble with the takedowns from Dawson. Looked okay defending early, but eventually just got worn down and beat up and submitted in the second. And then we go to Ludovit Klein. So he's 1-0 in the UFC, 8-fight win streak. Last loss was 2017. So this guy's been on a tear. He beat Shane Young from City Kickboxing his last fight with a first-round head kick KO. Pretty damn impressive win, especially the way he did it. He's a southpaw. He keeps his hand. He's got that high guard, not like Nick Diaz style, but almost just a little bit more. I don't know, not as Stockton slap stylish. But he keeps a high guard, good boxing, good jab, straight left hand. And he's got this great front kick that he can turn over into a head kick. Very powerful. His last 3 fights were all head kick KOs. So if that doesn't tell you what he's going to try to do when he goes out there, I don't know what does. He wants to kick your head off. So, so the other thing is on him, I broke down 2 fights ago against Sajewski, the guy he fought. Sajewski was wrestling from the start. Klein got taken down, but really defended it well, scrambled up, got up a few times. He eventually got taken down, but he definitely made Sajewski work for it. So it does look like he has some solid takedown defense and scrambling ability. And then 3 fights, a fight before that, he just dominated the striking, more head kicks, knocked the guy out. So all in all, this is going to be an interesting one because it's a striker against a striker. One guy's got the karate background, the Tiger Schulman's background, which I don't care who you are. That's a tough style to deal with. Those guys are very good about keeping their space. They're very good strikers technically. So it could get interesting. I'm going to take Klein. He's been more active. He's He's more powerful. Trizano's coming off a couple knee surgeries. I don't think I'm going to touch this in DraftKings though. For $9,400, something just feels like this could be a more competitive fight than we think, given the both of them being strikers. So I'm going to stay away from this for DraftKings, but I think I'm going to take Klein, and it definitely could get interesting if Klein may need to wrestle a little bit in this fight. Like if he doesn't have that in his back pocket, this just could be a more interesting fight than people think.
You think Mike Trizano's the better striker, so Klein?
No, I don't think he's the better striker. I just think he's not
capable.
Plus 215 striker versus striker. I don't think
he's capable. He's capable.
So it's funny. Like I definitely think it's a little closer than the money said. I think the odds are correct. 2-1 underdog, 2-1 favorite. The dude's coming off 3 head kick knockouts in a row, not 3 knockouts in a row, 3 head kick knockouts in a row. Mike Trizano hasn't fought in 2 years. He hasn't fought the same caliber of person, has half the experience. So I actually think the odds are pretty dead on.
I think they're on, given like all those things you said. For sure, that's what makes the odds. I would say if these guys were both at their best, right? Like let's assume Trizano has no lingering issues from his injury, he has no ring rust. If both of these guys at their best, striker versus striker, I don't think I think Klein would win still, but I just think it's a closer striking match than people might anticipate.
It could be. Listen, I have Klein in my lineup. I did not want to spend $9,400. That is a lot of money, but I just think this card is tight, man. Like almost every single one of these fights is a pick 'em. And this is one of the few fights where I'm very confident in who's going to win. So if that's the money I have to spend, then that's what I'll spend. Because the way I see this, it's striker versus striker, as you said. I think Ludovit Klein is the better striker with actual stoppage power. Mike Trizano's a well-rounded guy. I don't think he has the same power as Ludovit Klein. But to me, the biggest thing is the layoff. And we've seen people do long layoffs, and everybody will say Dominic Cruz, but that's like the anomaly. A 2-year layoff with those severe of injuries, it affects everybody differently. I think those long layoffs affect strikers more than anybody. Because a grappler, you wrestle your entire life. You take 2 years off, you get back to it. You could always lean on that grappling. Like it's in your bones. The striking, the in and out movement, the timing, like that, even if you've done it your whole life, you take 2 years off and you slowly get back into it. Getting that timing back is not.
Timing is tough.
It's not as easy as like getting your timing back with wrestling. It just isn't. You could take a bad shot and get through it and finish it. If you have bad setups and poor timing, it's not going to go well for you. So I think the layoff plus the level of competition, I spent the $9,400. I didn't want to spend that much, but it is a very tight card. And before I go to you, Jacob, the monkey knife fight line, this is an interesting line because this is basically saying they think Ludovit Klein will either complete one-sided decision or stop Mike Trizano. So if I have to pick this line, I think I'm going to go over on Mike Trizano and under on Ludovit Klein. I might go over, but I doubt it. I think I'll go over on Mike Trizano because he's not a bum and he will be in this fight for a little bit. And I'll go under on Ludovit Klein. And if you are looking to play that same line, use the link in the picture and use the promo code WWP, and they will instantly match up to $100. You deposit $100, you will have $200 5 seconds later to play this line and then triple your money when you win. Jacob, who do you have winning this fight, and what do you think of that monkey knife fight line?
Yeah, you guys mentioned the knee injuries. We also have to remember that he was scheduled to fight in February and hurt his ankle. I watched an interview where he talked about it. He said he hurt it bad, like bad. And that was just February. I mean, that wasn't that far away. He basically said, like, if I didn't have an ankle wrap on my ankle, it felt like my ankle was going to be detached. I mean, that's how bad he hurt his ankle just in February. So you mentioned all the time missed. He also missed time just a few months ago. And I agree. This is a striker versus striker. When I look at Klein, the way he used those head kicks, it kind of reminds me of, first it reminded me of Cowboy. I was kind of a combo with the head kick. But the way he's patient and how methodical he is with his strikes, He reminds me of Robert Whitaker, the way it's just like a 1-2 and then that real quick head kick following everything. And I love the way he uses it. So I agree with you, Angelo. I think he's a much better striker. And I agree with this card. This card is a mess, and you got to take the ones where you know that they're, you have a very good shot of winning. So he's also in my lineup at $9,400. I just feel like that's a safe play on this card. And the Monkey Knife fight, I think this could be one of those more and more. I think Klein. I could see Klein outstriking him 2-1 with them both going over right there for the more. So I would take more on both these, I believe.
Yeah, you guys may end up. I mean, the $9,400 may end up being worth it. Like, I think he's going to win the fight. I think it's going to be a total striking match. So he probably will justify the $9,400.
And the crazy part too is Klein. He's 17-2. He's 26 years old, man. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. Talent.
I think honestly, both guys might get a bunch of points in this one if Trizano doesn't get sparked with a head kick. But I'm still kind of playing around my lineup as I go. But $9,400, I think I'm going to stay away from.
This was one of and you're going to hear this if you're watching this entire video. You're going to hear it say it a few times. The card is real tricky. And you guys let us know that in the comments that you're looking forward to the video because it is a tricky card. And the lineups are tricky too. Because I did some maneuvering because there's some people I knew I wanted. And $9,400 ate up a good chunk of that budget. Before you go, I just want to give a sincere thank you to all of our members and supporters. I just filmed a video like 2 hours ago, thanking all of you and walking through all the perks that you get for being a member. And new members signed up. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to thank you again and walk through those benefits very quickly. So specific thanks to Ansi Music, Chris Tirano, David Ramon, Chris Chori, Dunchichi, Jesse Correra, Lapuzza, Joe Todoro.
The live chat crew, the live stream.
Joe Todoro, Logan Garrick, X Sweet Spot X, Aaron Reynolds, Brent Hinson, Jill Loads, Jordan Burgard.
That's Big Don, baby.
Jacob's
Big
buddy.
Don.
Big Don.
And Juan Valdez. Sincere thank you to all of you guys. We appreciate it. Anybody out there who is not a member, click the join button below. It supports us. And in return, we'll hook you up with a Dan Kramer UFC Tops card, as long as those last. And our members who compete in our...
Flying like hotcakes.
And they're flying off the shelves. Nobody bought these things for 10 years, and now all of a sudden we're buying them up, giving them out to you. People have no idea what's
They're like
happening.
Pokemon cards.
The value is skyrocketing.
They're very popular all of a sudden again.
Because we're buying them all up. But any of our members who compete in our free DraftKings contest, you will win $30 if you win. If you are not a member, you can still win, but you will win $15. All right. Members get 30. Everybody else gets 15. Thank you so much. We're continuing to roll out new benefits. Members, when you're commenting on these videos, check out the emojis. You now have special emojis that only you can use. Thank you very much. It is genuinely appreciated. Thank you.